This is Raki. Welcome to DevOps Nexus channel. If you're looking to master Git from an absolute beginner level all the way to advanced stuff, especially if you're gearing up for a DevOps or site reliability engineer interview, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going on a complete zero-to-hero journey through Git. We're going to break down the roadmap, the architecture, and the commands that actually matter in the real world.
I know I just said it, but it really bears repeating, because this channel is your new home for leveling up. As a senior engineer, I've seen exactly where candidates stumble, and more importantly, where they absolutely shine. Think of this explainer as your ultimate mentor session. We're stripping away all the noise and giving you the exact version control mastery you need to thrive in a real production environment.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with core architecture, move into the daily workflow, then branching and collaboration, advanced techniques, and finally, acing the interview.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Core Architecture and Foundations. Git is fundamentally a distributed version control system. That means it's fast, it's secure, and uniquely, it lets you work completely offline. Now, to understand how it securely tracks your changes, I want you to think about it spatially across these 4 stages. First up is the working directory. This is basically your active workbench, where you create or edit your files. Second is the staging area. You can think of this as a temporary prep zone, kind of like a shipping box, where you pack only the specific files you actually want to save. Third, we have the local repository. This is your personal filing cabinet that securely stores your commits right there on your computer. And fourth, the remote repository. This is the shared online server where the true collaboration happens. So your code moves step by step from your local machine, through staging, into your local history, and finally out to the rest of the team.
Moving right along to Section 2, the daily Git workflow.
To maintain a truly reliable project history, there are some absolute fundamentals that allow multiple developers to work simultaneously. You'll use Git init to start a brand new repository, or Git clone to grab an existing one. From there, your everyday rhythm is going to rely heavily on Git status to see exactly what's changed, Git add to move your files into that staging area we just talked about, and Git commit to permanently record those changes right into your local repository. Honestly, these commands right here, they're your daily bread and butter.
Next up, Section 3, branching and collaboration. Okay, when you're working with a team, you really need to know the difference between fetch and pull. Listen up, because this is a major interview callout. Git fetch is entirely safe. It only downloads the changes from the remote repository, so you can just see what your team has been up to. It doesn't modify your local code at all. But Git pull? That one downloads those changes and immediately tries to merge them into your working directory. Because it's updating your files directly, a pull can definitely create conflicts. If you and a teammate happen to edit the exact same lines of code, it can basically turn your codebase into a temporary battlefield.
But hey, when those conflicts do happen, don't panic. Resolving them is just a simple 5-step process. Think of it as routine DevOps surgery. Step 1, open and edit the file where the conflict actually occurred. Step 2, manually remove those conflict markers that Git automatically dropped in there. Step 3, save the resolved file. Step 4, stage it using Git add. And finally, Step 5, commit the resolution. It's totally normal. And honestly, knowing how to calmly resolve this just proves you're ready for the real-world team environment.
All right, let's level up. Section 4, Advanced DevOps Techniques.
We're stepping up the complexity now. First up is a true precision tool, cherry pick. Imagine you've got this massive development branch loaded with unfinished features, but nestled deep inside is one crucial bug fix that production needs like yesterday. You definitely don't want to merge that whole messy branch. Instead, you use Git cherry pick to copy just that single specific commit right over to your main branch. It is surgical and it's highly effective.
Next, let's talk about rebase. When you pull in changes from another branch, a standard merge creates a new merge commit. Over time, that can make your project history look like a totally tangled web. The crucial takeaway here is that SREs absolutely love rebase because it effectively rewrites your commits as if they happen sequentially. The advantages? You get a vastly cleaner, linear history and absolutely no unnecessary merge commits cluttering up your log.
Then we have stash. Let's say you're halfway through writing a really complex script and suddenly you get an urgent ping to check out a broken production branch. Your current work is definitely not ready to commit yet. Well, Git stash is your temporary safety net. It saves your uncommitted changes in a hidden pile, leaving you with a perfectly clean working directory so you can switch contexts quickly. Then, when you're done saving the day, you just pop your stash and pick up exactly where you left off. Finally, for our advanced techniques, we've got revert. In the DevOps world, audit trails are literally everything. If a bad commit makes it into production, you might be really tempted to use a hard reset just to pretend it never happened. Please don't do that. Git Revert is the professional way to undo changes safely. Instead of deleting history, it creates a brand new commit that perfectly negates the bad one. You fix the bug, but you preserve the entire historical record of exactly what went wrong and how you resolved it.
And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, Acing the Git Interview.
Now it's time to translate all this knowledge into actual interview success. Hiring managers are definitely going to expect you to know these advanced commands off the top of your head. You should absolutely know that git reset-hard removes commits and changes entirely. Git log-1line gives you a really nice compact history overview. Git diff lets you compare changes line by line. Git tag is used for marking specific release versions. And a definitive favorite for hiring managers is git blame. That one tells you exactly who changed a specific line of code and when they did it. It's an invaluable tool when you're trying to figure out why a system just suddenly broke.
But listen, beyond just rote memorization of commands, your interviewers will want to test your grasp of the underlying concepts. They're going to ask you the difference between Git, the actual tool, and GitHub, the hosting platform. They'll want to know what head is, which is basically just a pointer to your current working commit. They'll test if you know that origin is really just the default name for your remote repository, or if you can clearly explain complex states like a fast-forward merge or a detached head. Honestly, understanding these deeper concepts is what truly proves your DevOps expertise.
And that brings us to the ultimate interview question, one you're almost guaranteed to hear. Can you explain the Git workflow in your current project? Well, you now have the vocabulary and the roadmap to answer this brilliantly. You can confidently talk about your local and remote repositories, how your team utilizes feature branches, why you prefer rebasing over merging for a clean history, and exactly how you safely use pull and fetch. Your challenge right now is to take all these concepts, synthesize them into your own words, and practice them. But I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If you pull up your team's current Git history right now, is it telling a clean, logical story of your project, or is it a tangled warning sign of bad habits? Think about how you'd fix it. Go build that muscle memory and be ready to absolutely crush your next interview.